Lunch with Leah, episode 409. Here's Leah.
Hi, everybody. Ignore my hair, ignore my makeup, ignore everything. We've had a rough morning. It's been crazy. First of all, there's construction going on in front of our street. I mean, it's going to be nice when they're finished because they're paving everything and lining it up perfectly. But it's a disaster and you just can't get here. Start with that. And then when I'm leaving my house this morning, I guess there's a leak or something in plumbing. And the city truck was sitting there in front of my driveway and I couldn't get out. It took 20 minutes running around looking for this guy to move his truck. Then I get in the car and somebody drove my car. I don't know who it could have been. And they opened up, you know, on the top where there's glass and then the window closes, they open those windows up. So the sun is just pouring down on me. You know, I don't get sun on my face or my hands, number one. It was so hot no matter turn the air on. So I start punching all the buttons. I get the emergency service for Mercedes-Benz. Oh my God. I couldn't get the woman off the phone. She's trying to sell me all these services. I said, call me next week. I gave her my number. When she hangs up, the phone won't disconnect and I can't get the radio. And you know I'm addicted to the hearings. By the way, am I interrupting your regular programming right now? Because I'm glued to the hearings and I couldn't get it. And so then I pull the car over, I turn it off, I turn it on. That doesn't do it. Then I call her again. Yes, ma'am, I'll disconnect it right now. Well, I've already missed like 10 minutes, 5 minutes of the hearings that I can't stand to miss one word of. Then I'm driving down and then this beep, beep, beep. This is your emergency broadcasting system. We are testing this, and if this were a real emergency, that went on for 3 minutes. I'm like, I am missing the testimony. Then I get here and I can't get in the building. Then I get to the valet line. Jason, the difference in the valet on the one side that we go to every day and the one on the other side, you don't use the valet because you have the parking spot. But anyway, the difference is like, I can't. Oh my God, it took me 10 minutes to get my ticket. They don't speak English. There's a guy in line. We just went on and finally I get in here and James goes, do we want to do a teaser about the show? It's like, it's 5 minutes after. What are we going to tell everybody to tune in? Yes, 5 minutes ago?
Tune in 5 minutes ago.
It's crazy. Anyway, so what's going on? Well, I've had a rough week, I'm telling you. So over the weekend, we did go see that movie, Ford versus Ferrari. Has anybody seen it? Did you guys see it?
No,
with Christian Bale. You know what? I didn't really want to go. I thought, it's a guy's movie, and I'm not interested in the race car driving. It was so good. It was such a good story, and the acting was so brilliant. It really was good. I was shocked. Of course, I love Christian Bale.
It's Daniel Craig and Christian Bale, isn't it?
No,
or who is
it's the guy from Good Will Hunting. What was his name?
Matt Damon.
Yeah, but it was just so good. And then, so last night, listen to this, Jason. Last night or the night before, I get a text from Antonio. He goes, "Did you hear Pete Lofton died?" Did you know that?
No.
Yes, in his home in Miami. It's like 61 or 2 or something years old. I'm assuming he had a heart attack or something. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Can you believe it? He went to our charity event year after year after year. And I saw him at Tom Ireland's birthday party, about 2 or 3 years ago, of course, with another young blonde bombshell. And I just could not believe that he died. I just couldn't believe it. So anyway, it's just unbelievable.
Lift your foot.
Lift my foot. Why? What am I tangled up?
You're all tangled up in your mic.
I'm all tangled up. You know,
It was
it's
making
been
a
one of these
noise.
days, you know, just ignore us. Well, anyway, blessings to Pete Lofton and his family. He's got 2 cute little boys. I knew his ex-wife, and we've known him for years. He's the original owner of the Versace mansion. When the Versace family sold it the first time, he bought it. Then he sold it, and on and on. But anyway, whatever. So I'm watching the hearings. I'm glued to the hearings. If you're not watching the hearings, tune in tonight. All the highlights are going to be on. At this point, the Republicans just, no matter how much lipstick they put on that pig, it's going to still be a corrupt pig. I mean, they can't help themselves. I tweeted out this morning, I said, What it was, oh, like my husband says, you can't throw a skunk in the jury box and ask the jury to disregard the smell. It is so bad that the Republicans, if they were smart, they would shut these hearings down and say, let's compromise, let's make some kind of a deal here, because to let this horrible information continue to come out about the behavior of the state and not the State Department. The State Department, actually, the people that are working there, they're stand-up, straight arrow patriots. But Mulvaney and Trump and Perry, and I mean, it's so bad. I'm cringing for them. I'm literally cringing for them. And Trump, every time he moves the goalpost, well, I didn't do it. Well, I did it, but it was no quid pro quo. Well, there was a quid pro quo, but it didn't. They got the money anyway. Well, they got the money. I mean, every time they move the goalpost, some other bombshell comes down and just destroys their defense. I think that this is like when that lawyer, Renona Weiner, on the stand on national television, and they show the video of her shoplifting at Saks. Mm-hmm. He should have just made a deal before. He should not have put her on there, because the damage is done. It's so incriminating. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yesterday and the day before. So the day before yesterday, RJ and I drive an hour and a half down to get the driver's license. We get there, we didn't have an appointment, so we had to leave, come back. The next day, we make an appointment. We get there, after another hour and a half drive, actually an hour and 20 minutes, because we left from the house instead of from here, from RJ's other job at the Italian consulate. We left from there. We get there, RJ goes in, I'm going to sit in the car so I could continue to listen to the hearings. He comes out with this long face. They said I made the wrong appointment. Apparently he made an appointment for what do you call it, like a permit license instead of regular license. Well, who cares? It's the same thing. They still have to have an appointment, and that they were overbooked and to go home and come back and reschedule. I'm like, are you kidding me? So RJ's sitting in the car with this long face, and I hop out. I grab his wallet, which has his temporary license in it, the vehicle registration and all the stuff you have to show. I march myself in there, and I plead, and I beg, and I did everything but cry, and they worked him in. Finally, so he got his driver's license. We would have had his driver's license a year and a half ago if we would have had time to go down there. But it's so far down there, we have to take off work to go down there, and then you have to wait so long. They used to have one of those places right in our neighborhood. Now it's like on the other side of the planet. I couldn't believe it. So I meet this girl. She was so helpful. I said, I'm going to write your supervisor a letter. I'm going to send you some stuff. You're so amazing. You saved my life. Can you take a tip? No, we can't take tips. Oh, I want to do something for you. Anyway, so we got home. I thought it was 8 o'clock. Regina said it was 6:30, but it was dark. What time does it get dark here
It's been
now?
Getting dark at like 5:15, 5:30.
You're kidding.
I had to turn my lights on at 5 the other
So
on
I
Friday.
thought it was a lot later because it was so dark outside when we got
daylight
home.
savings time.
And the reason I knew it was so dark is because I was showing RJ when you're driving how rude drivers put their bright lights on. You know, you're not supposed to put your bright lights on.
No, it's
when you
actually
drive.
against the law.
Is it against the law?
Yes,
You're only
it
supposed
is
to
a
put
law.
them on when you need them. You're going up a hill, you're on a country road. All these bright lights were in our, so I was showing him the difference between the bright lights and the regular lights. Did you hear that? It's against the law to use the bright lights.
You can get a ticket for that.
Well, we could have gotten out about 200 tickets last night on our way home. And every light was in our eyes. And it was the reason I realized how dark, and that's why I thought it was around 8 o'clock, but I guess it was earlier. I don't know. Oh, yeah, it was around 6:30 because then Roy said, let's go to Houston's at 8:30. And Roy Jr. was like, oh, we're just too tired. So he didn't want to go because I grabbed him some chicken, whatever, on the way home. And so we stayed home, and I was not wanting to go anyway because I wanted to get all my guys. You know, this is like a whole thing. I have to get all my notes together from the gossip from the week, and then I wanted to watch the hearings. So anyway, that's what happened.
Well,
so
everyone is saying hello, and Ryan Holt says Devin Nunes is an ass.
Is there a nastier person?
And then he says, and so is Jim Jordan.
You know, it's funny. On the way here, you're 100% right. I was thinking, I'm going to tweet. I already tweeted Jim Jordan is the most obnoxious person on the planet. He is so obnoxious. But
Horrible.
Nunes is nasty.
I mean, he is. I watched
He's nasty.
yesterday, I had it on, and just like when they would get ready to go to commercial break, for those of you at home that are watching, it's been another long day with no bombshells.
And the ratings are horrible.
Nobody's watching.
No one's watching well. I looked it up, and the ratings are off the charts. I mean, they lie about things that are so easily proven that are lies. But I was thinking that, too. I was going, Jim Jordan is just a jerk. I mean, he turned his blind eye to all those little minor wrestlers that were underage wrestlers being abused by that coach in Ohio State when he was working there. But he's a jerk.
Yeah.
But Nunes is just nasty. He's just a mean, nasty guy. The way his smirks and the way he's just so condescending. They're horrible.
Ronnie Karam says, love you, Leah.
Oh, Ronnie!
Can you believe they were on Chicago morning television?
Ronnie, you're making it into the big time.
They're like being interviewed now during morning television and everything. We're so happy for you
everybody.
guys.
Go to Watch What Crappens.
So
Follow
good.
them on social media, Ronnie Karam and Ben Mendiger, and go to the podcast and listen to it. It's hilarious.
It is.
And if
Go
you're
see
in
them
a
live.
city, go see them live. Look on their website and see the cities. They are so fabulous.
Yes.
And they're making it the big time.
Yep.
So Watch What Crappens live. Don't forget to follow them. And meanwhile, if you want really, literally, I'm telling you, when we're there, sometimes people are laughing so hard, I think they're going to choke.
I did, almost.
And I used to think, well, maybe they're just all drunk. They're laughing so hard, but they're laughing drunk, sober. Men that don't even watch these shows are laughing. It's hilarious. So anyway, they're so good. So hi, Ronnie. I'm going to see you in December, I hope.
David Bink. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if you're going to be in Austin this Friday, but if you are, text me. Anyway, so they're going to be on Jimmy Kimmel next. They'll probably have their own late night time
Probably.
show. They're so fabulous.
They'll be on like Kelly Clarkson in the afternoon or something. They'll be on Ellen before it's over with. I'm sure they will be.
I'm their number one fan.
David Bigley says, such a good change from the hearings to lunch with Leah. Sylvie Daughtery says, hi, I'm coming to New York on Monday. Hello from London.
Go to London again.
Ronnie said, that's a mom on your previous comment. Christine Lester says, good morning. And Karen Rainey says, crazy about costumes, loves Leah Black.
Costumes? Oh, well, I'm going to have to start wearing costumes. So anyway, I missed The Voice, but I TiVoed it. So don't spoil it, anybody, because I want to watch The Voice. Every single year, I have picked the top 4 and been right. And I usually pick the top 2. I'm telling you, I'm good at that because I know when someone has a good voice and I know what the audience likes. Anyway, so there. So we had this Charlie Crist event at my house, James. Listen how many people it takes to put on an event at my house. James, Jason, Heidi, Haiti, Esperanza, Paul, Omar, and the bartender. 8 people. And that's if Roy just walks around and meets and greets. That's his job. And you know what? Sometimes it's hard to get him to do that. He'll stand in the corner talking to the same person for 20 minutes. I'm like, go around and talk to people. RJ and I had to go around and talk to people because Roy's standing over talking to the same people. But it was fun. Didn't you think it was fun?
Yeah, it was a great event.
Very
nice. And that photo is the second most popular photo that we have posted in 2 years of you.
Which photo? Oh, me, Roy Jr.,
family.
and Charlie Crist on Instagram?
Yes.
Oh, Lord, James just had to get the photo. I tell Charlie, just ignore him. He has to take a photo of everything. But then you had your Versace shirt and tennis
you took
shoes
the picture
on.
of us on.
That looked really cute. And then he's so sweet. Barack Obama did that when he came, and so did Biden. They took pictures with all the staff.
Right.
Individually and in a group. And I thought that says so much about who they are. Can you imagine Nunes taking a picture with the housekeeper? I don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
Oh, my God. But anyway, they raised a lot of money. So now we're having one on December 10th. If you want to know about it, go to hello@leahblack.com and for Kathy Rundle, the state attorney. And that'll be a fun event, too. And then, oh, my God, RJ is killing me because So my friend Jose was talking about Michael Avenatti, and I said, oh, we're friends with him. He goes, oh, I'd like to meet him. So I set up a lunch with him if RJ and Roy had to go. And Roy Jr. goes, Mom, we see Michael Avenatti more than we see anybody. I don't know why it just works out that way. I love hanging out with him. I think he's hilarious. You know, they dropped a couple of charges against him. I mean, it's a political prosecution, I'm telling you right now. And yesterday he did a podcast with my other favorite podcast, Dumb Gay Politics, Julie and Brandy. I have to listen to it. He was on their radio show yesterday, and then he texted me. He goes, those girls are crazy. He goes, they are out there crazy. I said, I know. I just love them. And he goes, oh, no, we all have to hang out when you're in L.A. So that was good. And now they want tickets to the debate on the December 18th in Los Angeles. I don't even know where to start to get tickets. I asked a couple of people, but I said, if you get 3, I'll go with them. If you get 2, they can go. Honestly, I could go or not go. I've been to enough of them, and I don't like the big crowd in the scene. I like watching on TV. On the other hand, it's so much fun to hang out with them. If they get the 3 tickets, I'll go. We may not get any tickets. Probably in the nosebleed section. If it was in Miami, we'd have some pull, but we don't have that much pull out there.
And Julie, doesn't Jason? Didn't you say you saw her on something? On the morning show on Apple TV, she made a guest appearance.
Not the one with Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, that's it. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, my friends are becoming so famous.
Reese Witherspoon, she lets it into the studio.
Oh my God!
You're like 6 degrees of separation from the Friends cast because Doug Biden was also on that show.
Who?
Doug.
Doug Budin.
Or Budin, I mean, yeah,
Budin.
Was on there too? He was on the Friends show. He was posted something the other day about it. So you have
I
a lot.
I don't know Doug that well. I've only met him I've only met him once actually, but I know. I mean, you know,
from Jeff's show.
Yeah, from Jeff's show. But friends are becoming too big for their britches. I've got to hurry up and catch up with the Joneses. So then James told me The Crown. Jason and James told me The Crown is out.
Oh my God!
I can't start. Episodes is it?
I think there's 10 or 12 this season.
I can't start on it until I know that I can watch it all because I binge it. I can't
Yeah, I do too, but
wait. So I'm going to wait. Maybe we'll catch it in LA because in LA, Roy and I, because we're on a different time zone than everybody else, we go to dinner really early, like 6, which is really like 9, and then we go watch TV all night. Fun was on, and Roy made me watch it last night. I didn't want to say anything because I'm trying to be the good wife, but I am like, the fucking hearings are on right now. They are commentating about the hearings, and you want to watch Donovan? But anyway, it was really good. It's really going to be a good season. I love that show. It's a good season. We're getting so far behind on everything because there's so much political news.
There's so much on, and now we've got to make room for a new Housewife franchise.
Oh my God. So now, I don't have time for, I can't. But anyway, so then my mother tells me about a month or 2 months ago, there's this estate sale in Texas, and they have all this stuff, and she sends me pictures. Cut glass, crystal, silver. And I said, I just bought everything. You won't believe how much I bought. So she sends the first box arrives yesterday. Of course, the 2 big, most expensive bowls were broken. And she went and paid to have UPS packet. So they're going to have to pay for that. But you will not believe the stuff that I'm so cheap. I'm living like a queen. I'm going to have to put a crown on my head around that house. And all this stuff, I don't think they knew what they had. And I got out my magnifying glass, and then I got out my loop to see if they were any of the pieces were. They weren't, but the quality was unbelievable. So I did. And then, I'm a tweeter. I'm a tweeter nut. I'm an addictive tweeter. Okay, so that guy, what was his name? Oh, Ron, whatever. He was Republican. He was so nasty to Yovanovitch, Ambassador Yovanovitch, and he kept cutting her off and wouldn't let her answer. He was so nasty. So it was a clip on Twitter showing how nasty he was, where he cut her off. I mean, this is a State Department woman's worked 33 years in the State Department. She's stones. She's just there to tell what happened. She isn't really. She's the one out of the way so they could do their little quid pro quo drug deal, as Bolton called it. So I tweeted at this guy. I tweeted back to that clip, bully, 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 nasty men. I got almost 6,000 retweets on it. I was dying. I was with me. Bully, nasty man. They're all, remember Trump called them nasty women, so I got a kick out of that because I thought it was just so funny. Anyway, his name was into Turner. Oh, it's just so horrible. And then this is my note. Say, you got to go to my Instagram stories. You know, James, you're really good at that. You know, I tell him what to do, and I direct it, and I come up with the graphics, and I do everything, but I let him post it. But it's so good. He did such a good job. You got to go to my Instagram. You know, I never watch any Instagram stories, but then James will tweet me. He'll text me. He'll go, turn on your Instagram stories. I'm like, everyone's going to think I'm a damn genius. I could be working for like one of those, what do you call those, animation companies.
What are you at Pixar? I don't know what's going on. I think we're having a few technical difficulties, but I apologize. But we can still hear you and see you.
Well, as long as you can hear me, that's all that matters.
It's coming through like that. It looks really bad. It's really
wrong?
pixelated. It's like the internet.
Nobody cares how it looks. I never care how it looks. I care how it sounds. I think pretty is as pretty does. Beauty's on the inside. Okay. Ask me anything. I'm going to read these in advance. Who knows? Oh God, how do you care for your handbags? There are varying opinions on the care of leather, particularly Louis Vuitton. We buy this cream in a jar called, is it mink? What's it called? Mink cream or something?
Yes.
No, it's not oil.
Or mink, but it's a cream. It has mink oil.
Cream. And we get it online, and once a year, we take a felt thing, and we do the inside, the outside, the front, the back, and the bottom. And if you keep your leather in a felt bag, helps. That's how I do that.
And something else too is like the temperature. If you live in a humid climate, like I notice my bags, since I've been in Florida, sometimes the handles seem to dry out really quick, or they'll start to crack.
They shouldn't dry out in the humidity. They should dry out in the dry.
It's been really bad. I've noticed it.
Well, put them in felt bags.
I do. I keep them in felt bags.
That's the best way.
Yeah.
Phil, flick. I love you. You're politically conscious. So, if you had a chance to ask President Trump one question and he was bound to answer honestly, let's assume this is I should have looked at these.
This is hilarious.
Leah Black magic kind of moment. What would I ask? Oh my God, I have to think on that one. I'd ask him to leave the damn country.
For real.
Now, what would I ask him? I would ask him, do you know you're lying all the time, or are you just pathological and you think you're telling the truth? Because I don't know if he believes these lies, or he just figures, you know what, Fox News will amplify them. Enough of the base will agree with me and believe anything I say, and I can maintain the power. But the lying, to me, is the root of all of it. Because if you can't agree on the facts, how do you get anything done? But the lying is the most ever, live and on TV. And then of like, there's nobody there. And that was when the lying started. And then they had that professional liar after him, Huckabee Sanders. And now they've got this Grisham girl who's just a liar. I don't understand. I mean, they have to know they're lying. How do they not know they're lying? I just like, even today, it's like, are you going to believe your eyes and ears or the lying president? Anyway, that's what I would ask him. I would want to know about the lying. Not to mention, does he wear a diaper? But anyway, that picture was floating around. Lee Schroeder. Hi, Leah. I like listening to you on Jeff Lewis. My 16-year-old daughter has acne that comes and goes. Do you have a product you recommend for that? She's currently using Rodent Fills, but would like to try something new. Oh, my God. I hate to tell you. The only thing I know is if you keep it really clean and use a gentle exfoliant, which ours is, and if you use the mask, it sometimes makes it worse because it pulls out the impurities, but sometimes it makes it better because it pulls out the impurities, and that's the end of it. But there is a product that was prescribed by the doctor. What's it called, RJ? How do you spell it? Acetone.
Accutone.
Accutone. That the doctor
Accutane.
The doctor prescribed when RJ was getting little breakouts. And it was miraculous. But you have to get it from the doctor. And if you have a liver issue, you can't use it either, too. Because I was going to use it once, but it's really. Oh, then RJ's got to stop using so much. My ex wouldn't get. When I used to break out, he's an ER doctor, and he wouldn't prescribe it for me because he said I drank too much. You can't use that every day, honey. You can only use it when you have blemishes, because I didn't know it's hard on your liver. It's hard. Stop. You need to stop using it like that. Just use it when you have breakouts, but it does work. It does work really well. Oh, my God. Okay. So, the Tom Arnold. Tom Arnold, can I have more eye cream? I need more. Yes, we'll get you more. Oh my God, he's so funny. Oh, by the way, speaking of the eye cream, if you run out, just take the lid off. There's usually some more in there that doesn't pump out, but we use that packaging because it's so sterile. Anyway, Stacy I'm glad you told me about that, James. RJ, you can't use that all the time. I need you to use it like once in a while if you have a blemish. What are your thoughts on adults, though? Usually blemishes are because they have either dry or oily skin. Mm-hmm. And our skincare line is designed to normalize the skin so it's neither dry nor oily. Stacy Stewart Wagon, what are your thoughts on Bravocon? You know, I didn't go. I wasn't invited. I didn't watch it. I saw a few posts about it. So the only thing eventful about it that I saw was the link that someone tweeted where they had Ramona and Vicky having it out about who was the biggest, most fabulous, original OG, Orange County or New York.
Yeah, Ramona and Vicky going at it.
They made me laugh so hard, and I would die before I would act like that, but it is so fun to watch.
I told you, it was like them fighting over who got a virus first.
That's right. Who started the virus?
The virus
it was
first.
So funny. Husbands for Housewives. I was at Bravocon. Oh, you went to Bravocon and thought for sure they were going to announce a Miami return. Now that the disappointment is set in, what are your thoughts on the new franchise in Salt Lake City and don't know of the cast? I've only been to Salt Lake City twice, and that's when I was doing my seminar. It's probably going to be all Mormons, I would assume. Mormons have an interesting life story, an interesting belief, kind of two lives they lead, the public life and the private Mormon life. So, no, but I don't know anybody there, but good luck to them. Art Morgan, do I keep in touch with any of the cast? If so, when? I recently kept in touch with Joanna because of congratulating her about her baby, and I've got a baby gift for her. Once in a while, I will email or tweet or text back and forth with Lisa. Karen, once in a while. Is there anybody else? That's probably it. In royalty news, Prince Charles welcoming ceremony in New Zealand. Now, what bothers me about this is, what does Prince Charles do? If that makes news, that he went to a welcoming ceremony in New Zealand, that's the news of Prince Charles for the last year? What does he do? I was just like, and? Like, is he, I mean, he's a big climate, environmental advocate, and I'll give him that. And he's a nice enough guy. But what does he do when that makes the national or international news? I mean, if you're in that position, look at all that you could be doing in the world. He could be doing, Princess Diana did more in her short little time in the palace than most of them have done their entire lives. You know, she brought attention to so many causes: leprosy, mines, AIDS, everything. I don't know. I just like, it's not a judgment, but I mean, he's taken the easy way out. He just wants to be crowned king, I guess. Apparently, it was a PR disaster for Britain when in the royal palace, according to HollywoodReporter.com, because Prince did an interview talking about his relationship and his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, I guess I'm persona non grata because I knew him. I went to his house, but I guess he didn't do a good job. He didn't do a good job. They said he wasn't sympathetic to the victims. He didn't. First of all, why did he do the interview?
Exactly.
Well,
Why did he do the interview? I would not have done that interview if he asked me to do my life. It's behind me. I don't discuss, or the guy's dead. I'm not going to say anything about somebody that can't defend themselves, or I'm not interested in saying no. What's there and run the show?
and they need to watch episode 4 of The Queen, or the because it kind of throws back to when image problems in the 60s, and they did that documentary that backfired on them when the prince, the king, when his mother, who was a princess, and then she gave everything up and went to become a nun, came back to live with them. And so while they were filming the documentary, she became a part of it. But it was very interesting the way it all turned out. But that's a similar situation.
I'm going to watch The Crown.
Very similar
They're
situation.
always going to step in it. But, you know, I will say this, that Kate Middleton Middleton has done a very good, I don't completely trust her. I think she's a little different on who she shows up to be, but because of the way she kind of didn't want to look at Meghan during the wedding was like an indication to me, like, why won't she even look at her? But she hasn't missed a step. She's been right on point. She's represented the palace well. She says the right thing. She does the right thing. She dresses in a way that's very appropriate. And so she hasn't missed a step. So good for her. Harry and Meghan documentary surprised the royal family. According to the reporting, the prince, the brother, the older brother that will eventually be king, is very concerned about his brother and Meghan, and the family is being very supportive of them, and Middleton reached out to Meghan. So I think all that's good if it's true. I hope it's true. But that backfired. I guess they weren't expecting. They were blindsided. I think they had no idea how much Meghan and Harry were struggling and how the press was just dogging them all the time.
Yep.
In celebrity news, Tom Hanks is going to be playing Mr. Rogers. I can't wait to see that. Turns out he finds out yesterday or last week that he's related to Mr. Rogers. He's 2/6 of a cousin. And it doesn't surprise me. They have the scene kind of great in this. He's going to get another damn Oscar.
Yeah, he
He'll
will.
get another Oscar.
Probably.
Which means that who won't get one? Who else do we think will be up for one? I don't know, but he won't get one. John Gosselin. Remember Kate and John and the family of 9? Well, apparently he says that fame a personality disorder, according to Radar Online, and that she just really wants the kids for the filming, and that she went off the deep end when she got the fame. I believe it. I have seen people that got a little fame after getting no attention their entire life, literally looking for the camera and the light. They just can't handle it because they're just like they've never had that kind of attention, and they're just like, oh, I need to stand on the left side. I need my photographs up left from the left side. Oh, is my belly tucked in? Oh, you need to Photoshop that before you post it. Oh, signed an autograph. What the hell's wrong with people? Honest to God, you're the lowest hanging fruit of television, and you're acting like you're Meryl Streep with 19 nominations for an Oscar. Oh my God. You know, they say never mind, just goes on. Judge Napolitano says that the 10-year sentence for Lori Loughlin is ridiculous. No one was harmed, according to Newsweek.com. Is that the punishment doesn't meet the crime. You hear me preach about that all the time.
Yeah.
And her friends, Andrea Barker, who I guess was on that show, she was on Fuller House, said that when they filmed the the finale, the last season, that they really all realized she should have been part of it. So she, it's kind of sad in a way. You're so stupid. I think she listens to her husband. But celebrity news, Taylor Swift is now going to be able to perform her songs at the whatever award ceremony coming up. So I guess Scooter Braun and the part bought that catalog, decided the negative press and the petition from the fans wasn't worth it. So Kaepernick had a tryout. Did anybody hear how it went?
Well, he didn't
do well?
It didn't go well because he got into it with the NFL right before he went in to try
Well,
out.
that I know, but
and he
how
went
did
to a
the
different place.
Right, but what about the tryout?
I think he was good,
Is
but
anyone
I
gonna
don't
pick him
think
up?
anybody's.
Hey, you see, I hate the NFL for that. First of all, they're lying about all those brain injuries. Secondly, they could change the rules of engagement so that people don't get the brain injuries and still have a great game. And 3, why are they blackballing this guy because he took a knee? What is wrong with that? There's nothing, that's his private, subtle, quiet way of saying it. Now, I get the part about he was going to have it at one place and he moved it over so the press could cover it. But, none of that matters. Can the guy deliver the damn ball or the tackle or whatever in the hell he's supposed to be doing or not? Well, I'm rooting for him. Anyway, apparently, the rated movie ever hit a millstone. The Joker. In the box office, $1 billion. Yeah. I hope that guy, whatever his name, what's his name, got into that actor, $1 billion. Now, what is wrong with Hollywood? They are wanting to cast Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman, Tubman part in the Harriet Tubman story. Does anybody see anything wrong with that? Harriet Tubman was black. What, is Julia going to wear blackface? Are they just going to pretend she was? And the whole story was about her being black. So how are they going to do that? And you know what the executives, when they interviewed him, said? Oh, it happened so long ago, no one's going to remember. This is why America is so dumbed down. Like, there aren't any black actresses that can play that role. If I were Julia Roberts, I would never subject myself to that kind of ridicule, number one. The executives are out of their mind. And if I was a black actress in Hollywood, I would get all my black actress friends together and go walk around and protest with signs in front of that studio. That's just ridiculous. Bill Gates surpassed Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos to reclaim the richest person in the world. He's worth $110 billion. Oh my God, Jeff, when you're worth that much money, pay the damn people that work part-time and give them benefits for the medical. What's wrong with you? And give everybody a raise and go do something to solve climate change and go get those kids out of those cages and go do something. Keith Haring's 85-year-old mural that was painted up the stairs of a youth center was taken down later and put into painting form, sold to an anonymous buyer for $3.9 million. I should have just been an artist. Do you think I could paint? I'm going to try. You know, RJ was a great artist. He could paint the most extraordinary pieces, and he didn't like it. He won't do it. It's a hidden talent. Marilyn Monroe, according to, what was it, the history thing, Ella Fitzgerald, you remember Ella Fitzgerald, the bigger-than-life singer, performer, whatever, was told that she could not play at Macondo, which is a pop club in the 50s, because she was black. So Marilyn Monroe said she was going to go and sit on the front row table every night that Ella Fitzgerald played. I love Marilyn now. That was good. Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, we should take our 5-second break. I'm having major technical problems.
All right, 5 seconds is up. All these technical problems, just live with them. Oh, as Mulvaney would say, get over it. And Housewife news, Tamara Judge is telling Megan King Edmonds to run. In other words, get out of Dodge. I don't blame her. I would not stay with a guy that was cheating on me with a nanny. Oh my, and even if he wasn't, if he was texting with the nanny, I just wouldn't stay with a guy I couldn't trust. Megan, run, according to theinquisitor.com. Anyway, I told you about the Vicky Ramona thing and the Salt Lake City thing we talked about. Oh my God, I hate to say this. I really do. I hate to pile on, but it's out there. Emily's husband failed the bar again for the 4th time.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's sad. But you know what? There are test takers and there are people that aren't good at test taking. You know, like Roy made the highest score on the Florida bar in the history of Florida and no one surpassed it. Roy Jr., who's so smart in so many things, but when it comes to taking tests, he doesn't excel at them. There are people that are just not great at taking tests. And there are people that are great at taking tests, but they aren't good at everything else. I just hate that he failed that again. Studying that hard, maybe he wasn't studying, maybe there was something to that rumor that he was in the hotel for 3 months studying and he wasn't. I'm just kidding. CNN's reporting there's a child prodigy in Belgium getting, there's more housewife news. I don't know, how did I miss it? Anyway, we'll find it.
What? Yeah, I was going to ask you about the Camille coming back.
Oh, apparently.
And then what? Kelsey.
Housewife. Oh, yeah. Apparently that Beverly Hills was not spiced up enough. So I guess they had a choice between bringing Brandy and Camille, and they're going to bring Camille back to spice it up. Camille is not doing herself any favors on that show. She's the villain every time. I don't know why she's even doing it. But anyway, she's got all the money that she needs to live on. Her husband doesn't want her. Kelsey came out and blasted her in an interview.
He sure did. And then she tried to clap back, but at the end of the day, we all know.
I forgot what he said. I thought I had it on last week's thing, but he said something. She was just desperate for fame, and that she was. He
said he didn't spend any time talking about her because she spent so much of her time talking about him, and he felt it was.
And then he also said that when his mother was dying or died, that she came in raised in hell about something. the day of the funeral, and that's when he decided he was just done with her. He didn't do himself any favors either on how he handled it. Neither one of them did, and I know them both, so I'm not on anybody's side. But anyway, there's a child prodigy in Belgium who's getting a bachelor's degree at the age of 9 years old. And then they're going to start their PhD program in electronic engineering while studying for a medical degree. You know, that kid and I have a lot in common. TMZ News. Burger King, oh my God, Burger King is being sued by vegans. So Burger King goes out. They're the only fast food restaurant that has the Impossible Burger, the vegan burger, okay? And now they're being sued by vegans because they're cooking the burger on the same grill. You just can't win with people. Just wipe it down.
I wondered about that when they first started doing that, and they were talking about how they were promoting that as a vegan burger, and I thought, how long do vegans realize it's cooked on the same grill meat?
Let's be honest. Even if you're a vegan, it's not like you're allergic to from it. It's really that you just don't want to eat meat and that you don't believe that it's great for the country and the world to do it. It's not great for the environment, and it's not maybe healthy or whatever your belief is. But I'm sure they wipe the grill down before they cook it on there. If they're cooking it to a greasy hamburger, I guess that's one thing. But now they got to buy a new grill. They're just going to say, forget it. We won't have the Impossible Burgers. I really like the Impossible Burger. I'm actually getting hungry right now. Purdy's on the beach, Jason. They're closing. Jason.